Hello, I'm Tycho, and I'm going to be reviewing your VOD of your Reign Orisa loss on Ilios. You did mention that this is on console. I don't play on console. I haven't watched an awful lot of console footage, so I'm gonna keep an open mind when it comes to mechanics and even meta. But yeah, let's dive right in.
Jesus.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
Ash
Ash.
has a pretty
Yo.
nasty knockback
Okay,
too.
yeah, well,
Yeah, it does, bro. I can't believe
Although you got to
that
be
they gave
careful
that to
because
him.
you'll sometimes
yeah,
knock your own
Orisa
self
Hog
into
Lucio.
the
This
well
is what I would
Oh
expect to
god.
see on PC as well.
because
Uh,
it knocks you back
Orisa
too.
Hog Lucio will largely dominate on well. And it
Is this
can
the
it can
well?
come down to
Mm-hmm.
just any one of these heroes
Oh, this is a
carrying
Ash. She is
and
just
getting those environmentals.
ridiculously overpowered
Oh,
right now.
her. Yeah.
In fact, I imagine this first round is going to be
I
a
wonder if
pretty
you can
boring
end up
watch because it is going to come down to
robbing
just
the well.
well games.
Oh yeah.
I'll maybe skip this.
Oh,
Let's see.
Doomfist is
Okay,
flanking.
Doomfist coming around.
Okay, Farah's screwing you up. I don't think your team has
Doomfist just got me.
an answer for Farah.
Pop.
He's one. Fuck.
Oh, right after he got res.
She just killed your hog,
You guys are out of heals right now.
and she just killed your Hanzo, and your
Get in
Farah,
there.
and your Lucio.
Right,
And she's going to kill you. So Farah just killed your entire team, which is to be expected. Oh no, you do have an Ashe and a Widow. Okay,
Yeah,
but
Ash
that
is also really good.
those might be
Like
recent
middle,
switches. I didn't see them
heroes.
before.
Thank
Alright,
you.
we're going in.
I'm so slow.
Farah got your Ashe.
4 legs and you're slow. Makes no sense.
I'm coming over to hog.
That's what she said.
Oh.
Oh,
God,
it's-
yeah. Alright, I'm going in Diva. Fuck this shit.
Okay, you're. Yep. Well games. This is
Oh, I'm
so boring to review. That's where it gets interesting.
Oh.
Oh.
You did call it. I don't know where your Moira
Like
went there.
swarming us.
Let's and I'm not here to review your team, but just want to see if there was anything we could have changed about that. Your Moira appeared to just
Oh.
bitch out and leave you with no
They're
heals.
like swarming us.
That's unfortunate.
Alright, regroup. Stop trickling in. Regroup.
got the mercy.
We need that fucking Farah dead, dude.
Yeah, that
Yes,
Farah's
Farah
annoying.
needs to die. However, and I'm going to pause this here. When you're in this situation, I kind of wish I had you on Discord right now so I could ask you this myself. Let's see if you're online. No, you don't look to be online. Can we see your team comp here? Yeah, we can see your team comp here. So Farah is carrying hard, carrying real hard, right? Your DPS are maybe struggling to deal with this. I mean, they clearly are because they're not landing the kills. And that doesn't mean they're bad. Sometimes Farah is good, right? And she knows how to play around and pick these guys off before then just cleaning up. But because the Farah is carrying so hard, it becomes a team problem. It's not just a case of, well, we've got 2 hit scans. Let's roll the dice and see if who wins that Pharmacy versus 2 hit scans war. Because a lot of the time, Pharmacy will win. Especially if these guys think, oh, all I need to do is switch to hit scan and she's countered. It's not that simple. Pharmacy is formidable. So what I would want to see is I would want to see everyone making this part of their problem. The Diva, hog switching to Diva, I think is great. Because Diva can really put a lot of pressure on Pharmacy. A lot of pressure. I don't know if D.Va's doing that, but as for you and the healers, what we could maybe see here is a Zen to put discard on. We could see an Ana, who's got some additional hit scan for that Pharah, or even a Mercy just to pocket the DPS to even that fight out, or get the fight more in your favor. And likewise yourself, you could switch. However, given that this Orisa is almost certainly going to be playing well games, you staying on Orisa is probably not a bad call. But I think this is a conversation you should be having with your team. Yeah, it's great saying we need to deal with that Pharah, but you want to be taking that conversation one step further and getting into the how. How are you going to deal with that Pharah? And that isn't a conversation that should mean hitscan, just do your job. It should mean how can we enable everyone to win that fight? And it might just mean that let's say your hit scanner try to take the high ground. If you're not going to be up there with them, then maybe you do question your pick, or maybe you say, hey, maybe can we get a Zen and get a discard on the Pharah, or maybe we say, hey, D.Va, like, who do you need help with? Maybe D.Va is diving the Pharah, but Doomfist is all over, or maybe Doomfist is harassing the snipers so that they can't get a clean shot on the Pharah. Maybe Doomfist's also causing maybe Doomfist's the reason that nobody can kill Pharah. So open this up for conversation. Say, guys, how do we fix this? What's our plan? Rather than just saying, okay, we've identified the problem. A couple people have switched. Let's hope for the best.
Got the Mercy.
We need that fucking Pharah dead, dude.
Yeah, that fair is annoying.
Yeah, this Doomfist just one touch.
That's
Alright.
alright, it's alright. Kind of
Sorry, I'm thinking about maybe switching to Brady.
Yeah, we got a lot of ranged DPS.
I'm not able to hit it.
I would like to see you call that fist. You just got jumped from behind. That was the distraction that enabled Pharah right there.
They have no DPS.
You should be calling that when someone flanks.
We got 10 seconds.
I'm the only one. I'm the only one in.
Solid. Again, if this Doomfist is the reason you're having to split your attention from the fight,
God
call it
damn,
out.
That Doomfist is good.
Give a bomb.
See what I mean?
Trying to solve. This fair is in my face. Wow, the Doomfist is really fucking.
And Pharah's just going to destroy you here again. She's behind you.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Just getting free reign.
I got 40 health.
Didn't even have a Mercy pocket in her that time.
Can't deal with that fair.
But
Seeing the
but yeah, you guys know Pharah's a
I
problem.
know, you just like don't know where to look.
Alright. We need a plan. 'Cause I'm
Yes.
gonna do it again at work.
You do need a
Put it
plan.
in here.
You do need a plan.
What is it? Doomfist and what? Okay.
Pharah.
And if you don't know what the plan is, just
Yeah.
start throwing ideas out there.
One elimination.
And I might switch
Start
to Mercy
put suggestions out.
if I don't get more.
See what
value
happens.
from this here.
Eventually, you'll find a comp that
But let's get there first.
maybe won't win because you can't win them all, but it's better than just
Watch, we got somebody coming from the left.
Doomfist.
kind of hoping for the wind to fall in your lap.
Right next to left.
Okay, your camera's a little bit crazy, but this might just be a controller thing.
Got him.
That was so I play a lot more Rhine than I do Orisa. And Rhine's probably a lot more. There's more margin for error on Rhine, right? Orisa's fairly simple on the surface. You can be super annoying as Orisa if you just keep cycling your shields and putting spam damage down, right? Reinhardt gameplay is something that I think about a lot. So you're chasing the Reinhardt. I think that's not your job, because currently there's 5 dudes on point, and you could be soaking up a lot of damage from them and denying a lot of damage from them with your shield. Yeah, okay, you got that right. You saved Ash's life, but that should be something you should be communicating to your to your backline, right? Which is probably everyone but you. What was your comp? What we got there? Moira, Lucio, Diva, May. Someone changed to Ash. Anyone can peel, but when a Reinhardt peels, you've exposed your entire team.
Got him.
So there goes your Lucio. There goes your Zarya. Now your Ash is dead.
Well.
Reinhardt got rezzed.
How did the did he get red?
That
Oh, now they have
peeling that Reinhardt there was not your job, unless your entire team came with you.
I'm getting off.
If you obviously you peeled because you knew he was a threat.
Doomfist in our back line.
Watch, Doomfist is
Good call.
creeping.
Get him, get him, get him.
But yeah, if you knew he was a threat,
Got
you could have
shattered.
just made your team know that was an urgent threat, rather than try to hero it. Nice bubble
He's
from
one,
your
he's
Zarya.
Widow on the
Nice.
pillar. Widow on the pillar. Widow on the pillar. Main pillar.
Okay, interesting choice here. So after you get this Reinhardt,
He's one, he's one.
Widow on
Nice.
the pillar.
now you see the Widow. For whatever reason, your Zarya has gone ahead of you, so she's in danger. You're not
Widow on the
shielding
pillar,
her
Widow
right
on the
now.
pillar.
Shield up again.
Main pillar. Widow on main pillar.
I would have liked you to either tell that Zarya to slow down or fall back, or for you to shield hop in front of her. Okay, so we're here in the training ground, and if I follow this training bot, you'll see that we walk at the same speed. Pretty much exactly the same speed, right? So if I want to shield him in front of him, I do that, he walks right through me, right? Because the shield slows you down so much. However, if you jump and shield in midair, you keep all the momentum until you're hitting the ground. So it's not a perfect shield. You're not shielding 100% of the time. And against a good Widowmaker, it's a bad idea. But what's also a bad idea is when your Zarya is out in front of you, and you can't close that distance without dropping your shield. So rather than drop your shield completely, you can... Oh, pushed past me. Rather than drop your shield completely, you can bunny hop like that. In this case, it would have been to close the distance to the Zarya as a combination of safe and quick. Your shield's up maybe half the time when you do that. Again, don't know how hard it is on console, but you're basically just bunny hopping. You're just doing this, but you're hitting your shield once you get off the ground. Worth knowing, I think. Anyway, let's go back to your video.
I knocked her off.
And yeah,
How did he go?
maybe you do know how to do that.
I solo shattered.
Maybe you hard shielded for the Widow. It's not a bad call. But fact of the matter is,
No
your
regrets.
Moira.
Got you.
Sorry, I had a coughing fit there.
I got Blizzard ready.
Fact of the matter is, your Moira could have been in cover. There was no excuse for your Moira to have been solely using your shield. She wasn't killing anything. And players will quickly learn that they shouldn't be trusting a Reinhardt shield, because Reinhardt drops his shield for a bunch of reasons.
She's up on that pillar again. Oh, I need some healing.
Yeah, your camera's a little crazy when you're swinging as Reinhardt. I don't know if this is a console thing. Maybe you want to adjust your sensitivity. Maybe you want to go to the training ground
Really?
and just practice
Damn it, I just got pinned.
hitting a target multiple times with your hammer without
On the
losing
side.
them.
I'm out.
I need heals.
Okay, so there, and I was kind of thinking this for a lot of that fight. Let's go back and watch that fight again.
Really? Damn it, I just got pinned.
So
Damn it, I just got
what
pinned.
what are you shielding here? Who are you shielding? Who are you shielding from? This is that caption is hilarious. How did I turn those on? It's a very common thing you see with Reinhardt players, every rank. Bit more so in the lower ranks, but typically if a Reinhardt doesn't know what to do, he'll put his shield up. I think you need to be aware if you're doing that. And if you're aware of it, you'll start noticing you're doing it more and more, and you'll just get better at that decision-making process, because if you don't know what to do in a certain situation the first time, then when you figure out what you should have been doing, you can say, oh, okay, next time I'm in that situation, I should be doing this. In this situation, so you've kind of secured the choke there. Whoever that is probably backing off. Your May's still trying to engage that. You've got full health, you've got full shield, you've almost got shattered. I would say you should be pushing up.
And I just got pinned.
You're checking on your team, that's fine, because someone died. So I guess you're checking on the Moira.
On the side, even I'm out.
I need heals.
Now, not two of your team died. One of your team died, and then someone else has just called out saying they need heals. If I'm you, I'm questioning what's going on that I'm not covering. You're doing a really good job of holding this choke.
Oh, damn doofus took me away from my own shadow.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Shield ball coming in.
Sometimes you need to herd your team up as Reinhardt and remind them, hey guys, we've got a shield. So that when someone is in trouble,
Good block.
that was a good block, and that was a terrible charge. And I'm sure this is a mistake. You weren't doing it to BM him, but there's only one way you can really go from this angle unless you steer right, and you're not steering right. It looks like you're steering left.
Took him off the map.
You gotta be aware of those. Sometimes they're worth it as well.
They got the fair again, guys. We got this fight.
If that Rhine was nanoed, I would have done that.
Doomfist.
Because, hell yeah.
Wall.
If we was a Rhine and they was a nano Rhine,
It's
it's better than that nano Rhine killing 3 people.
Oh, I didn't have counter charge.
No problem. You got the point. Because that charge ended up taking him more than
one round.
The point.
And you dominated them there. They didn't play Pharah. I think the Pharah player probably knows what she's doing, and that map's way too
Okay,
open.
that was better.
Yeah, I think the Bridget worked out a little.
I'm going to
better.
predict.
The May help.
That Pharah comes
She has
back
so
this
much
round
I could stop the.
and kicks you guys' asses, because that's what Pharahs do. A good Pharah will play this map and the first map, and on Ruins, the one you just played, probably won't play Pharah there because snipers are really good there, and they'll just wreck a Pharah. You guys haven't seen this coming. You don't have any Pharah counters.
Yeah, Reaper should be a good.
Hey.
So stick with May?
Oh, yeah, May is never a bad choice.
Is against Pharah.
Oink.
And this isn't just a, well, oh, your team did this, so nothing you can do.
It's okay.
You can have this argument with your team, or no, it doesn't have to be an argument. It can be a discussion.
Be
It
ready
can
to
be
slay.
suggestions, ideas.
I'm
You can
ready.
keep it positive. I like your positioning here, but your team don't. You're behind the shield. The only thing that I'm not too happy about the shield is that this place is very, very boopy. There's lots of environmental kills that happen here. People pick for it. It's probably why you're running Orisa Lucio again. But you're a little close to the door for my liking. If someone gets the drop on you, they could probably easily boop you out the door and off the ledge. Which is probably why your team are gravitating towards the middle. They're also quite a short-range team, which makes me question why you're playing Orisa at all. And you didn't stick with Rhine. Again, probably for the environmentals. But right now, you're not tanking for your team. You're definitely not tanking for your team. And if as a tank, you see this situation where you're behind a shield and your team are getting no benefit from it, then you need to start thinking, where am I going to place this next shield? And I would hope it's over here to actually give them a bit more space. Put it in the middle of the room.
Is it fair behind?
That Lucio could have killed you, but you were on that. Shield is up. Where are you going to put it? It's better. It's much better.
They have a May. There's a fair behind.
Fair's in, fair's low.
You are. Let's just. I'm gonna even slow this down. Let's go 0.5. Alright, let's go from here. No, maybe not there. That's too far
I'm
back.
ready to switch.
Is it fair behind? Lucio's low.
So you shoot the Lucio. You shoot the shield. You're spinning around. Probably hear the Pharah, I guess. Reposition. Pharah's now shooting you in the back. You get stuck on the Lucio. You shoot the Pharah kind of accidentally, but you keep shooting her anyway. I like the callouts. May's all over you. I mean, this is already lost at this point, right? But I don't think you had a plan. I don't think you have a target. I think you need to be, when you come into any fight, and once you see what the enemy's running, once you know what they're running, and I think this is true for, almost any hero, is you need to think, who is my priority? What is my goal? What is our plan? You were just kind of going through the motions there, spinning around, shooting, whatever. I want to see you thinking, where's my value coming from? Because I promise you, it's not just your shield. You need to be doing work as well. But I do like the callouts. Good job on the callouts. I want to hear more callouts like that. I want to especially hear when you know something your team doesn't. That's the big stuff.
Big group, big group.
We weren't able to kill them.
I like the switch. The switch is really good because your team are playing so close up. However, that's not going to be what decides this match, because you're going to win that close-up battle if you get the chance, probably. But you're not going to beat that. Not with this comp. Not at all. And the Pharah distracted you from that fight. She got some rocket damage through that window, which helped get you down. I wasn't paying attention to the kill feed there. Maybe what got your healers killed, if it just what made you drop in eventually. But your team can't do anything really against Pharah here, and she doesn't even have a Mercy pocketing her. She doesn't even have a Zen pocketing her. She's got heals if she drops into Lucio's aura, and she's got the cooldown heal from Brigitte. That's about as easy as Pharah's going to get to kill in competitive, right? So this is... You guys could have identified this now.
Fair is actually pretty good.
I had plenty of time to talk about your comp.
Yeah, she was.
Okay,
Watch.
question. So you've got two short-range DPS, May and Reaper here. Your objective should be to ensure that they can close the space they need to close the space to become effective, close the distance. You're the person that can enable them to close that distance without getting killed on the way there.
Pretty good at dipping.
So you come out here, you fire
Yeah,
strike,
what?
and then you back off. So you've just juked your team. You've dummied your team. You've said, "Hey, we're," like, without saying it. They've seen you go that way and throw a fire strike. That looks like you're initiating.
Dipping in and out.
And then
Yeah,
you run
sure.
away. And your team go ahead. They think you're there.
But watch, she's gonna try and boop. They got their own May.
Unfortunate that didn't pin. Reinhardt's broken.
Fuck this Pharah.
I mean, that was free, so that was going to happen. This fight's going to be lost. And it's just going to be lost because Pharah's just getting free damage into that room.
Damn it!
Let's regroup. Let's regroup, May.
I got booped off.
It's a good call though.
Alright.
Oh, the maze not working anymore.
But yeah, because there's boops, you guys probably don't even want to go out that right door. You called that last time, and that's why you didn't go.
Damn.
You want to tell your team that. If you have good ideas, share them. It's also
Jesus.
a death
Come
trap
on.
for Pharah. But again, that Reaper maybe thought you were with him. Okay. What's your plan here? Pharah's behind you to your right. I can hear her.
Bear's above us.
Kill the Pharah. Kill the Pharah.
That's a good plan.
Love to.
Fire striking is not a good plan. That's just a waste for fire strike. Now, there's a. Okay. Let's go back.
Kill the Pharah. Kill the Pharah.
Love to.
So once again, your team have gone ahead of you, and now you've been caught with your pants down by a Mei. Oops. Let me just drive my point home with some graphics here. You've been caught with your pants down by a Mei. Who's going to kill you? I can hear you sighing. You've gone on comms to sigh. But you've not called it out. Not asked for help. A Zarya bubble could have won you that encounter. A
Somebody else
healer
to take
peeling
from
back.
that time.
Pretty much anyone could have helped you out there.
Touch, 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 touch. 5 seconds.
You got me.
Oh, it's huge. It's huge.
Resume. That's it. Yeah.
Oops.
Damn it.
So
That was a rough run.
let me just go back to the title screen here.
Bit of
I'm not hugely surprised that you lost. I think you know why you got beat, and it was by Pharah. As to why you couldn't come back, it's you need to make that a discussion. You need to make that because maybe no one else notices, right? Or maybe some people do notice, but everyone's trying to be nice because you've got a 6 stack, and no one wants to say, "Oh God, DPS, do your job." But no, it's everyone's job, and sometimes you need to enable the DPS. But aside from that, aside from the whole Pharah shenanigans, I think there's a couple of things you can work on. Let me get my pen up. I think one. And I'm going to put a question mark at the end of this, and this is not in order of priority, this is just in the order that I'm kind of remembering things myself. Your sensitivity. It seems actually alright when you're playing Orisa, but when you're playing Reinhardt, your camera is just spinning and you're losing your target. I think you need to practice that. Go make a custom game with some headshot only Anabots and tweak it. Tweak it so that their healing received or whatever or their health, anything. It doesn't have to be Anabots if you don't want them healing themselves, but healing's good because if you get the balance just right, you can be like, okay, I need to hit an Ana 4 times in a row to burn through the heals from all the other Anas to kill her. That means you have to acquire a target and keep that target, even though all the other targets look the same. It's a good practice for just a bit of hammer discipline as Reinhardt. Obviously, you want to be hitting as many people as possible for the most part, but this is purely a training exercise for you to kind of focus on your I was going to say mouse control, I guess, your aim control. That's a question mark. It's maybe just a console thing. Maybe you're fine with that. I don't know. It just looked a bit funky to me. Number 2 is the big one. It's a classic. Your positioning. As Reinhardt in particular, there was a lot of times where your team were in front of your shield. Now you can't control your team, but you can be more responsive to them. You can be more vocal to them. And for the most part, there was never really an occurrence where people were getting killed and you were tanking for them. People were largely getting killed when they were nowhere near you. You cannot just make this everyone else's problem. You have to take responsibility for that and start thinking about how you can enable people better. And sometimes you have to start thinking, well, if nobody's using my shield, do we even need a shield? And open that conversation to the team. And whilst we're on the subject of opening the conversations to the team, comms, you need to communicate. And not just, and you were making some really, really, really good callouts, some really good, possibly the best callouts, if not the only callouts. But no, really good. I would love if someone gave even that level of callouts in every one of my comp games, okay? Because there's a lot of quiet, silent people. I feel like if you're gonna play this game and you can give someone some information that can turn a fight around, even in the slightest, you're an asset. So yeah, good job on that. But you can go further with that. You can if you're the person who's most willing to talk, and if you've got good ideas, then offer them up, because everyone else will thank you for it. I'm going to put /comp on this. If your comp isn't working, you need to start discussing that. I'm not saying you have to find the answer. You don't have to find the solution, but start the conversation. That's largely it. There was a few. You had the potato charge off the edge of the cliff. But there was a lot of minor things and lots of minor mistakes, and I've definitely made worse, and I've made worse at a higher rank than you. But yeah, I would say be a bit more proactive with your communication. But yeah, be aware of your positioning. Be aware of who you're shielding, if you're shielding them at all. And yeah, definitely. If I see my team are playing Reaper May, and I know that Reaper May need to be up in the faces of people to do work, then, I mean, the first thing I'm going to say is, guys, that Pharah is going to absolutely destroy us again. Let's not play Reaper May. That's the first thing I'm going to say. But if we're stuck with Reaper May and maybe the Pharah isn't there, then I'm 100% going to be probably playing Reinhardt, if not Winston, because I know that we need to be constantly mobile to get Reaper and May in and out of the fight, and you need to be there in front of them. We're rarely in front of them ever, and in fact you baited them and led them to their death more than once. You're not offering any value as a tank there. As a tank, you're just playing a fat distraction, And at one point you were so far behind your team, a Mei picked you off, and nobody punished that Mei for it. That's how far behind your team you were. You should be in front. And I'm not saying press shift before every fight. Just you know, when you feel them get an answer, you need to lead the way. You need to be a leader as a main tank. You need to give them a path. You're positioning like a support there, if I'm going to be honest. And that definitely means if you get jumped by a Mei, you should be screaming on voice, "There's a Mei on me, there's a Mei on me, there's a Mei on me," and you just side and let her kill you. So yeah, a little bit more proactive, I think. You play quite passively. I think if you just have a bit more confidence in your tanking and a bit more confidence in your ideas, you'll be out of gold in no time. Good luck.